Specter here, introducing our resident movie reviewer, Raid.
Hello.
And we're here to review Ballerina.
I'm here too.
We got Null.
What's up?
Alright, yeah, so Ballerina. It's the newest movie in the John Wick franchise, directed by Len Wiseman and written by Shay Hayden. Stars Ana de Armas, along with some other people who also returned from the previous movies, like Ian McShane and Keanu Reeves here as well.
Oh boy. Who would have seen that coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, spoilers.
It wasn't sure, considering how the last John Wick movie ended.
Well, but if you knew that this was a semi-prequel, then you
know that even if it's 4 seconds.
Yeah, that he's gonna show up. Now we won't exactly say, because this is the spoiler-free part of it.
Mm-hmm. The trailers kind of give it away. Anyway, when it comes to this movie, it's all right. I would say it's all right. The action is really good. It's shot really well, but
as per usual.
Yeah, the action. I mean,
it's a John Wick movie.
If you want aura farming, then
pretty much it's the hype moments and aura. Yeah. So all of the stuff that you'd expect to be good in this movie is good. However, I think there's a couple of gripes with it. I don't think this is a perfect movie. In fact, I'd probably say out of all the John Wick movies, it's the weakest one.
Yeah, if I had to rank them, this would be last place.
No, yeah, I agree with both of you guys. This is definitely on the lower end of what I've come to expect from a John Wick movie. And my expectations are never high.
Well, you know what you're going in for.
You know what a John Wick movie is. Honestly, and this goes out to anyone who's not seen John Wick, or maybe they have seen John Wick. It's John Wick.
It's action porn.
It's action porn.
It's pure action porn. Like, every action scene is gonna have a really cool moment where you're just gonna go like, "Holy shit! How did they do that?"
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I guess we should get into like the actual gripes, because like I said, all the action here is good, so there's no need to like go over that too much.
For our non-spoiler folks out here, I think we can sum up our thoughts as mid. Like, it's pretty mid 0.5.
Yeah, I'd go to like mid 0.5 is probably a good summation of my opinion. Yeah.
Let's go in with our spoiler review now.
Okay, so here we go. I think we should start with the gripes, because I do think we have a couple that we can all pretty much agree on, and I'd say,
and they need to be addressed.
Yeah, I'd say that one of the major ones for me, and I guess like the one that really affects the movie for me, is that honestly the plot is just completely incoherent. Well, okay, not completely, but like a lot of the times nothing in the plot really makes that much sense. And what I would consider worst of all is that it's just not really that interesting.
And going back to what we were talking about, like, this is the weakest John Wick movie, it's because it's not interesting.
Yeah.
You know what kind of makes it not interesting to me? And big spoiler, not a spoiler, John Wick's in the movie, and he does a lot more than just make an appearance. There is honestly a big freaking lack of tension in this movie, and it has to do with John. Part way through the movie, like the last half, there is action scenes, and John Wick partakes in these said action scenes, and it kind of just feels
like Papa John came in to save the day.
Yeah, better ingredients, better pizza, fucking John
better
Wick. Better assassinations, John Wick. He comes in, he's protecting the main character. That's what it really feels like.
Maybe not at the beginning.
He's a crutch.
Yeah.
She can't take care of everything on her own, and the movie's trying to make it feel like that's the case. Like, she needs help.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more like, because obviously at the start of that like final set piece is basically John Wick's coming in to kill her, right? That's kind of what what's going on. And then they have their big fight, and I mean, John Wick wins.
It's a
of course
fucking
he does.
wash.
Because we knew he wasn't gonna die.
I mean, there's no way he's gonna die, and there's no way he's gonna lose because he's John Wick. So after that, it's just kind of like, okay, we have John Wick here. What is he gonna do? And then he really only has one thing to do, is just, I guess he's gonna protect the main character, Eve. Yeah.
This kind of all boils down to one major gripe: is that John Wick didn't need to be in the movie.
No, it really didn't.
Like, sure, like as an appearance.
It didn't even make sense for him to be in the movie.
And honestly, for me, actually, I agree with Specter. Like, it doesn't really make too much sense because, from what I can gather, the movie takes place between chapter 3 and chapter 4.
Right.
And then, like, if you know those movies. Right now, John Wick's excommunicado.
Which means he shouldn't be an assassin for hire.
So like when he comes in at the end as in like a favor for his like family, who he's completely unattached from at this point because he's already cut his ticket from them. Like, why is he there? He shouldn't be there. Yeah.
You know what's a real shame? And I have to go back to the earlier part of the movie, the nightclub scene. It's way more interesting around that part because she's actually has a bit of a handicap because they give her bullets that were rubber, and it's more challenging.
It is.
And they take away a lot of the challenge in the later half of the movie because guess who's there to save the day? Fucking Super John.
And you know what? A lot of those things don't have payoff. Like, what was the point of the rubber bullets?
That's true.
What, like, literally some plot threads are unresolved.
Yeah. Like, actually, that's a great point that you bring up because for me, the one that I had the biggest issue with is just at the beginning, they bring up Eve's family. Like, I think a big thing is that Winston and I forget the name of the woman that runs the
director of
the director. I think they don't
really give her a name. I think.
Well, she probably has one.
She probably has one, but in the movie they just refer to her as a director. But they talk about her about Eve, and they say like, oh, you can't let her find out who her parents are. You can't let her find out who her parents are.
Oh yeah, assassins, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like
what the fuck doesn't matter.
And it's like it's setting up this whole mystery about okay, I guess her parents are gonna be someone super important or somebody that's like actually gonna matter. And then at the end, it just turns out like there's just somebody that was part of the cult.
You know how cool it would have been if her parents were actually the evil ones?
Yeah, that's what I thought they were gonna do. Yeah.
Like maybe at the beginning of the movie, the father, it's like an adoptive father. Like he just takes her in. It would have been a little more interesting if the villain turned out to be her father or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I thought that's what they were gonna lead to because like there's this whole like mystery around it at the start, and it just doesn't really lead to any satisfying payoff. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, they were part of the cult, and I guess he just wanted to give her a better life. It's like, okay, man, whatever.
Not to mention the sister mystery. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, they introduce her and then she dies.
And then she dies like immediately right after.
Which actually reminds me that in that scene where she dies, I'm just kind of like, well, why didn't they just throw more grenades?
Oh yeah, I remember because you told me about this, and then I was just like, well, I don't know. It's just not as cool if they throw grenades.
There's a few scenes where like
it's literally just that.
It's that there's opportunity to kill her, and they like punch her in the head and like knock her out. It's just not as
cool.
Funnily enough, one of them is actually also involving grenades.
Oh yeah, like all the times that she like went unscathed for being right next to a grenade.
Yeah. I mean, it's hype moments in the world.
It wouldn't be as cool. That's like the moral of the movie. Not that John Wick doesn't do that. No. Not that the other movies don't do that, but this movie I feel did it a lot.
Yeah, I think this movie, more than like all the other John Wick movies, kind of relies heavily on like, oh, this is really fucking hype and look how cool the action is. Whereas like the other movies in the John Wick like franchise will just have like really cool action and then give you enough like interesting plot to make them like connect together and keep you interested throughout. And I don't think this one did that too much.
It was hard for me to stay interested for anything that wasn't an action scene.
That's pretty much
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this also boils down to that she kind of had plot armor. Not that John Wick doesn't, but
he has actual plot armor.
I feel like anybody in these action movies has plot armor.
But you know what? It feels like it was deserved for John Wick. How long has she been an assassin? 2 months? Like,
well, she's
I'll
been
give
training.
you this.
She's
She's trained her whole life.
Yeah, she's been training since she's like a
child.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not entirely undeserved, but it is. It makes more sense with John Wick.
Yeah, exactly. He already has the reputation.
Yeah. Like they make a big deal out of him being like the best assassin.
He's the what's it called? The
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. The Babadook.
What the hell?
No. I don't want to sound like everything about this movie is just negative, because it really isn't. Like, I want to emphasize that, like, if you want to go into the movie
and watch action porn,
and watch action porn, you're gonna have a great time, because there's plenty of action stuff here to like.
So there's a scene where they're fighting with flamethrowers, like the main character and one of the villains. And I've never seen a flamethrower fight before.
Yeah.
So they actually do a good job making it hype.
Yeah.
It's just beam clashing from Dragon Ball. Like, no, there's an actual beam
clash.
With the hose.
With the hose,
the hose.
Like that was really cool. See, when they do stuff like that, I'm intrigued. But then they cut away to something in the plot that I don't care about, and it's like, well, okay, you kind of
my dopamine reactors have shut off.
It's like the meme of Patrick where he's paying attention and then he just like falls asleep.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. But actually, another cool scene was in the gun store where she's like trying to buy guns from the dude.
And they get attacked.
You're thinking it's gonna be like the John Wick scene where he's
it's
getting ready.
Like they even play the music, like the hype music, where it's like, we're getting ready for like a montage.
He's showing her the montage of guns, and then they get attacked.
And then immediately they just get attacked, and I thought that was really funny.
I actually loved that scene because it exerted the expectation. I was like, great, the John Wick moment. We're gonna give her the John Wick moment.
We're doing this moment.
We're doing this.
Yeah.
There are a couple of funny scenes in the movies.
There was.
Like the funniest, in my opinion, was the guy who was like, "No, hell no, bro, that's John Wick."
That's suicide.
That's suicide.
And like a lot of the kills are actually really funny too.
The guy with the table,
yes.
the grenade. Yeah,
that's a hilarious scene. The guy next to me, you guys couldn't hear him. He was laughing.
No, I was laughing too in a couple of those scenes. It's just like I really do like when they get creative with like the kills, and they do get pretty creative with them here.
People are gonna judge us. They're like, you guys think exploding guys are funny?
Yeah.
Need to be put in an institution.
Yeah.
But I know we talked about the good, but one last thing that I just feel summarizes the movie is it's a John Wick universe movie, meaning this movie
is the start of the John Wick cinematic universe.
And it's a shame too, because I'm not upset that it takes place in the same universe as John Wick. What I'm upset about is that the movie couldn't stand on its own feet. It needed to add John Wick to feel like it was worth a damn. And I'm not saying that's a fan thing. That's a creator thing. That's the writers feeling that the only merit that this movie had was that it was tied to John Wick.
I would have been fine if they had him there for like a cameo. And,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that, but they put him in the movie.
Yeah.
And he played a significant role.
Yeah, no, he did. Like, especially at the end. Like I thought that the scene at the start where, and it ties into chapter 3 because it's the exact same scene where he comes into the
that would have been fine just having that
if
scene.
They had that scene just by itself, it would have been fine. It would have been fine because you have John Wick, and people are already gonna be drawn to it because of it.
Or if John Wick had actually killed her,
it would have been maybe a little more interesting.
Yeah, if that's how the movie ended, I'm gonna be honest, I would have been shocked.
And then he turned out to be the main character the whole time. Yeah. John Ballerina.
Well, they could have made it so it was like the last 5 minutes, right? Last 5 minutes, she actually wins, and then John Wick gets sent there and kills her.
Right. It's like, oh, this isn't enough, and you kind of have to go.
That I would have accepted that.
Yeah, I feel like it would have subverted like the expectations. Yeah. So
one of the subplots of this whole movie was also her rescuing that girl.
Oh yeah,
and I just feel like it doesn't matter.
They were trying to draw parallels, but
the actor for the one person she was after, Walking Dead.
I don't know what
it's Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Yeah, I don't know why the name wasn't coming.
Okay, that leads to another like negative that I have about the movie, and it's like they have that scene at the middle where he gets shot. And it's like there's no indication that he survived this. Like they shoot this as if he's dead, and the movie goes on as if he's dead. At the end, he's just alive.
They lived happily ever after.
I'm telling you, it takes characters 10 gunshot wounds in this movie to die. All the characters.
Yes, I know, and I expect it because it's a John Wick movie. John Wick gets shot like all the time in every
stabbed.
movie. Yeah.
I'm telling you, these people get like their throat cut. And they're like walking around trying to fight still, and I'm like, no, that doesn't happen in real life.
But yeah, I just feel that scene at the end just kind of took me out. It's just like, dude, how in the world is this guy alive? There's no way.
Not only that, there's a minor nitpick actually, and maybe you can say that because he didn't start it, that they shouldn't have killed him. But at the Continental, he did kill people.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. People. He's the first person to kill someone.
Yeah.
So really, that shouldn't have been happily ever after.
No, he should have gotten shot.
Yeah.
He started that fight.
Well, he didn't start it, but he participated.
He participated.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the rule is that like if you kill someone, you die. Yeah. So. Like, even if you could argue it was in self-defense, but I don't really think it matters to them.
Well, I think that's how the movie wants us to interpret it, was that it's self-defense.
Yeah.
Do you guys, maybe I'm not great with the lore, but can you kill in self-defense in the Continental?
Well, that's what I was trying to get at.
Really, the rule that they established is no business can be conducted in the Continental, which... doesn't really tell
that wasn't really business.
That's what I mean, because I would interpret that as like
what they mean is like you cannot go after a bounty.
You can't just go and kill someone like deliberately. But if you're like protecting yourself, I feel like that would be like an exception. But yeah, it doesn't matter because I don't feel like the guy should have been alive in the first place. So,
that's pretty much all I had to add.
Yeah, I feel like I think we decided on mid out of 5.
Yeah,
that's what we
midpoint 5.
Midpoint out of 5. Yeah. If you like action and hype moments and aura, just go watch it. Turn your brain off for a bit. Yeah. Don't pay attention to the story.
Yeah, don't expect the story here because you're not gonna get it. No. But if you want cool action, then go ahead, buy a ticket. You're gonna have a great time.
I can't wait for the next movie in the JWCU.
Oh, let's start with that.